A new day dawns, and with it comes the opportunity to draw closer to God. Pause for a moment and lift up your eyes. Prayer is the breath of your soul today, guided by the psalm. Let your voice bless the Lord, great and worthy of praise, whose goodness never fails and whose nearness sustains your journey. Now let us listen to the word of the Lord contained in the psalm, a song of praise attributed to King David, composed with order and fullness, to proclaim divine greatness in every line. The psalmist exalts the eternal King who rules with justice and tenderness, reminding us that his mercy reaches all and that his hand opens to satisfy every living being. This hymn invites us to bless his name day after day, to pass on his wonders from generation to generation, and to trust in his nearness. When we invoke him with sincerity, may every verse of this psalm awaken gratitude, hope, and adoration in our hearts from the book of Psalms. I will exalt you, my God and my King, and I will bless your name forever and ever. Day after day I will bless you and praise your name forever and ever. Great is the Lord and most worthy of praise. His greatness is unsearchable. One generation will commend your works to another and will proclaim your mighty acts. They will speak of the splendor of your glorious majesty, and I will proclaim your wondrous works. They will tell of the power of your awesome deeds, and I will declare your greatness. The memory of your abundant goodness will overflow, and your righteousness they will proclaim. The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and rich in love. The Lord is good to all. He has compassion on all he has made. May all your creatures give you thanks, O Lord, and may your faithful people bless you. May they speak of the glory of your kingdom and proclaim your power, so that all may know of your mighty acts and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures through all generations. The Lord is faithful in all his words and loving in all his deeds. The Lord upholds all who fall and lifts up all who are bowed down. The eyes of all look to you, and you give them their food at the proper time. You open your hand and satisfy the desires of every living thing. The Lord is righteous in all his ways and faithful in all he does. The Lord is near to all who call on him in truth. He fulfills the desires of those who fear him. He hears their cry and saves them. The Lord watches over all who love him, but he destroys all the wicked. May my mouth speak in praise of the Lord. Let every creature bless his holy name forever and ever. Lord, my God and King, this morning I open my eyes, and my first word longs to be praise. My heart awakens and seeks your face, for you are worthy to be blessed forever and ever. I come before you with simplicity, like a child who knows that the Father's door is always open and that your table of mercy never runs out. Today, inspired by the psalm, I want every heartbeat to be an exaltation and every breath to proclaim, you are great and most worthy of praise. Beloved Father, you know my story, my steps and my pauses, my certainties and my knots. Before your presence I need no masks, for your light is gentle yet firm, revealing without humiliating. You correct without breaking, lift without reproach. That is why I say to you from early morning, I will bless your name today, tomorrow, and always, for your greatness is unsearchable. Your compassion is a river that never runs dry, and your goodness is a mantle covering all creatures. As the sun rises and paints the edges of this day with gold, my soul learns from the dawn to begin again, to renew promises, and to remember that with you hope is born anew each day. Lord, you cause one generation to tell another of your wonders, and I want to enter that living stream of witnesses. Today I want my voice to echo those who, before me, praised you in the night and found you faithful in the morning. May my words carry the seed of your name for those who come after me. In my home, in my community, in the streets and workplaces, let it be known that there is a King whose glory does not fade and whose power is not to crush, but to sustain. Allow me to be part of that chain of holy memory, telling those who do not yet know you, open your hand and you will see that the Lord satisfies every living thing with goodness. Today, Lord, I consecrate these hours to your sovereignty. I acknowledge you as King of my mind and my decisions, King of my emotions and my silences, King of my projects and my sacrifices. Reign over my fears so that they may become trust. Reign over my wounds so that they may heal without bitterness. Reign over my expectations so that they may not control me but be aligned with your will. I do not control the arrival of trials or the size of the mountains, but I can choose in whom I trust. And today I choose to trust in you, who uphold those who fall and lift up those who are bowed down. In this morning prayer with the psalm, I lift my soul as one who raises a banner on the hill, not to declare myself strong, but to proclaim that you are my strength. My eyes wait on you. My bread comes from your hands. My spirit is kindled by your word. Open your hand, Lord, over my day, over what I see and what I do not see, over what I plan and what surprises me. May your providence, precise like the passing of time, and generous like a field in spring, lead me to fulfill the purpose for which you have given me this day. And while I praise you, I want to let your character shape mine. You are gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. Teach me, then, to breathe deeply before responding in impatience, to remember that your patience has sustained me 1,000 times, and that I can offer to others a portion of that same patience. May my words today be more balm than stone, more bridge than wall, more lamp than shadow. If your justice is upright and your faithfulness never fails, let my dealings be just, my agreements clear, my yes be yes and my no be no, as one who lives under the gaze of the good King, who sees in secret and rewards in his time. Father, today I lay before you my worries one by one. You know the needs of my household, the challenges at work, the decisions awaiting answers. Bring order to my inner being so that your peace may guard my mind. Grant me practical wisdom to manage, strength to persevere, and humility to ask for help when needed. If I stumble, remind me that I am not defined by my falls, but by your outstretched hand that lifts me up. If temptation knocks at my door, let me remember that your grace is greater, that your word is both sword and refuge, and that your spirit breathes strength when my knees grow weak. I want to begin this day with deliberate gratitude. Thank you for the rest you gave me, and for the breath you renew. Thank you for today's bread, and for the work of my hands. Thank you for those I love and for those who love me, and also for those who challenge me, for through them you exercise my patience and enlarge my heart. Thank you for the opportunities I can see, and for those still unseen, for the doors you will open, and for those you will keep closed for my sake. Thank you, because you are near when I call on you sincerely. Thank you, because you hear my cry and save me, because you guard those who love you, eternal King. Today I want to align my voice with every creature that blesses you. May my mouth proclaim your praise not as an empty ritual, but as the natural response of one who has tasted your goodness. Let my thoughts be like pure incense, and my actions like a simple offering made with love. May my faith not be a Sunday ornament, but a daily path, where each step is obedience and trust. If you give me talents, may I use them to bear fruit for your glory. If you entrust me with crosses, may I carry them with hope. If you ask me for renunciations, may my yes be born from knowing that whatever is placed in your hands is transformed into new life. And lastly, in this opening prayer, I ask for a special grace that I may not lose myself in my own words but find myself in your presence. May this powerful prayer of praise and gratitude not end when I say Amen, but continue to vibrate through my day like a melody reminding me who you are and who I am in you. At the start, I choose to bless you day after day, to trust your rule over all that exists, to celebrate that your kingdom has no expiration date and that your love knows no borders. Here I am, Lord. Receive my morning, receive my voice, receive my small yes, and make it part of your great story of salvation. Father, in this moment when the silence still holds traces of the night and the morning begins to unfold its canvas of light, I acknowledge your presence that surrounds me quietly and sustains me without noise. You are here, closer than my own thoughts, more faithful than my own promises, more constant than the rhythm of my breath. I do not seek you as one chasing something far away, but as one opening his eyes and discovering that you are already here, that you have always been here, that your love prepares the path before my feet step on it. You are the Lord, gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and great in love. and I allow myself to be reached by that goodness which does not compete with my merits, but precedes them, corrects them, and brings them to fullness. Today, I want to name your goodness with the colors of creation. Your mercy is like light that does not ask about the window, it simply enters and dispels the shadows. Your faithfulness is like the pulse of the sea that never forgets to return to the shore. Your patience is like the root that, unseen, sustains the tree in the midst of the wind. So is your heart, Lord, a heart that opens its hand and satisfies every living being with favors, that does not tire of calling the weary, that does not turn away from those who stumble, that upholds those who fall and lifts up those who are bent down. And I recognize myself among those you raise up, those who, even with trembling knees, can stand again by the gentle strength of your embrace. Your presence reminds me that one generation tells another of your wonders, and today I want to let that stream of praise flow through me. I want to hear within me the voice of those who, in days of trial, praised you and found your hand, and the voice of those who, in days of joy, discovered that every true joy returns to you as its source. Let me be part of that chorus that does not age, that does not fade when the seasons change, that proclaims the glory of your kingdom and announces your power to those who need hope. Let my memory become a workshop of gratitude, where I can recall your small and great interventions, your silent rescues and your open wonders, so that my faith may not rest on passing emotions, but on the faithful record of your works. Lord, you are good to all, tender toward all your creatures. This truth displaces and enlarges me, for it draws me out of the narrow hallway of self and invites me to look around with your eyes. If your goodness pours out like rain over different fields, I do not want to keep up the umbrella of selfishness. I want to be soaked in that generosity that looks at each person as the work of your hands. Teach me to treat with respect those who think differently, to help those who cannot today, to listen to those who cannot find words. May my dealings mirror your loving heart. May my patience follow your rhythm. May my gentleness carry your firmness. I want my gestures to bear the sign of your nearness, so that whoever meets me today may sense that you are near to those who call on you sincerely. In recognizing your goodness, I also look at my limits without fear. You are not scandalized by my weaknesses, for you know them better than I do, and yet you love me. You invite me to grow, not through pressure but through attraction, because in your presence all that is true blooms. Today I renounce presenting myself as self-sufficient. I hand over my gray zones, my distractions, my half-digested anger, my clumsy searches for comfort. If I have tried to satisfy my hunger with crumbs, remind me that you open your hand and offer true bread. If I have tried to sustain myself with my own strength, remind me that your power is made perfect in my weakness. If I have doubted your nearness, make me feel deep within that voice saying, "Do not fear, I am with you." I want, Lord, that this morning my words of gratitude be not only beautiful ideas but concrete decisions. Gratitude in the way I work, with responsibility and honesty. Gratitude in the way I speak, choosing to bless instead of murmur. Gratitude in the way I wait, without useless anxiety, knowing that you give food at the proper time. Gratitude in the way I rest, recognizing that not everything depends on me and that your rule sustains history. May these decisions become habits, and may the habits shape character, and may the character testify that your love changes lives from the inside out. Today I also declare that your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and that your dominion spans all generations. In this certainty, my worries, though real, find their place. You are Lord of time, and so I can wait without despair. You are Lord of processes, and so I can work without obsession. You are Lord of doors, and so I can knock without forcing. If an opportunity is good, you will open it. If it is not, you will close it. If peace is to come, you will give it. If conflict arises, may your justice guide me to act with truth and charity. If temptation appears, may your word be the map that steers me away from the cliff. If weariness comes, may your spirit renew my strength like an eagle learning to fly again. Lord, your nearness is the antidote to my fears. When I tell myself, I can't, you answer with me, yes. When I tell myself, it's too late, you whisper, my time is perfect. When I tell myself, I am worthless, you affirm, you are loved. Let these truths take flesh in my thoughts so that anxiety does not rule me and sadness does not freeze me. I want to walk today with the awareness that I am accompanied, not by a distant idea, but by your real, discreet, and powerful presence. May this knowledge transform the way I see my tasks, my encounters, my interruptions. May I recognize you in the everyday, in the greeting that reconciles, in the discipline that builds, in the generous gesture that sows the future. And while I recognize your goodness, I want to offer you my praise without reserve. I do not praise you to convince you to bless me. I praise you because you already bless me. I do not praise you to earn your favor. I praise you because your favor found me first. I do not praise you out of habit. I praise you because when my soul looks at you, it finds its music. May my mouth speak the praise of the Lord as an act of justice, as one who returns to the giver the credit for every good thing. May I do it with joyful humility, knowing that all glory belongs to you, that every true victory comes from you, and that every hope rests on your faithfulness. Therefore, in this morning prayer with the psalm, I choose to begin on my knees inwardly with my heart bowed in gratitude, with my mind awake to your presence, and with my hands ready to serve. May a thank you flow from me that becomes a way of life. May a here I am flow from me that becomes concrete availability. May a let it be flow from me that makes room for your surprises. And if something today tries to steal my peace, I will remember that you are near, that you hear my cry and save me, that you guard those who love you. In that certainty I want to dwell. In that light I want to walk. In that love I want to remain. Lord, as I awake, I feel that this day is like a freshly opened page, smooth and ready to receive your firm handwriting. You are the author who writes with wisdom and love in the book of my story. And today I want to offer you the blank lines of my hours, so that your will may set the rhythm and the tone. I do not want to rush to fill this page with my haste or my fears. I prefer to begin by drawing a line of praise, a title of gratitude, a first sentence of trust. Great is the Lord, and most worthy of praise. If yesterday left erased drafts, today you show me that your mercy is the perfect eraser, one that cleans without deleting the lesson, that restores courage without erasing the memory of what was learned. Thank you, Lord, for the chance to begin again. Thank you for the rest that renewed my strength and for the awakening that reminds me I am alive purely by your grace. Thank you for the simple miracle of the air that comes and goes, for the heartbeat I do not control, for the light that crosses the curtains like a silent sacrament of your presence. I want to see this new day as an artisan, prepares his tools with calm, my hands to serve, my eyes to recognize what is good, my ears to listen with respect, my feet to go where there is need. May each tool be tempered by your word and anointed with love, so that today's work may become embodied prayer and praise in motion. Today I choose gratitude as my first conscious decision. I will thank you for the visible and the discreet, for what I expected and for what was unexpected, for what arrives as a gift and for what arrives as a task. Gratitude does not deny difficulties. It places them under the rule of your eternal kingdom. When worry appears, I will answer with grateful memory. I will remember how you upheld my steps when I was about to fall, how you straightened my spirit when it bent under the weight of the day, how you opened your hand and gave me what was necessary in its time. This day is also a table you have already set with food in due season. Give me the humility to receive what you offer without comparing myself, without complaining about what others have, without craving what is not mine today. Teach me to distinguish between need and whim, between priority and distraction, between what builds up and what drains away strength. If something is lacking, may I learn to ask with confidence. If something overflows, may I learn to share with generosity. Help me to be careful in managing my resources, my time, and my attention, because waste begins when the heart forgets that every good is a gift, and every gift calls for gratitude. I want my eyes to learn to find the extraordinary in the ordinary, in the conversation that uplifts, in the silence that restores, in the small achievement no one applauds, in the fatigue that signals love has worked. Let me enjoy what is simple without turning it into triviality, knowing that your kingdom, though vast and eternal, slips quietly into the details. Let my soul not run after fireworks, but stay attentive to the steady, gentle fire of your presence that warms the hearth of my decisions and lights the lamp of my motivations. I want my gratitude to become a living memory of your character. You are righteous in all your ways and loving in all your works. Let this certainty guide me in every crossroad. May justice set the direction, so I do not bend for convenience. May your love inspire a firm kindness that speaks truth without wounding, corrects without humiliating, and forgives without naivety. If I am called to exercise authority, let it reflect your kingdom that lifts up instead of crushing. If I am called to obey, let me do it with nobility, knowing that all true obedience looks to you above every structure. I want to thank you even for the burdens I did not choose, because placed in your hands they become a gym for the spirit, the responsibility that weighs, the delay that tests patience, the waiting that stretches on, the misunderstanding that wounds. If I go through these with you, they become a school of patience, temperance, and hope. I do not ask for trials, but I ask for fruit in the trials. I do not ask that every cross disappear, but I ask for strong shoulders to carry them, and wisdom not to add weight with my complaints. If today I face a closed door, I will remember that your faithfulness carries keys I do not know, and that your timing is not bound by my urgency, but by your perfect love. Lord, I want to live this day as a conscious link between generations. The Psalm says one generation declares your works to another, and I want to be a trustworthy messenger of that chain. May my words bring encouragement to the young and respect to the elderly. May my example speak more eloquently than my speeches. May my failures, recognized with humility, become useful counsel for those who come after me. Give me occasions to recount your deeds without exaggeration or omission, and to recognize your wonders in the lives of others, celebrating your work without envy or comparison. In this way, gratitude will cease to be only mine and will become shared heritage, a living liturgy flowing through the days. Thank you also for the relationships you propose for today. I give you my planned and surprising encounters, my teamwork and my solitary tasks, my moments of companionship and my moments of silence. May gratitude be the language of my relationships. May I give thanks before demanding, value before pointing out faults, and recognize the effort of others before asking for more. If I must correct, let it be with respect for the dignity of the person. If I must request, may I not forget to say please and thank you, simple seeds that prepare good soil. If I receive an undeserved gesture of kindness, may my first movement be to bless you, source of all good, and then to bless the one who became the channel of your love. For all this, Lord, this new day will not be a battlefield where the strongest wins, but a field of trust where you guide those who rely on your word. I want to walk in that certainty. You are near to those who call on you sincerely. You hear their cry and you save. You guard those who love you. I leave my signature at the bottom of this blank page with an act of faith. Today I will choose gratitude. Today I will prefer blessing. Today I will decide to obey. As my heart leans toward gratitude, I will discover the path of your joy, the joy that does not depend on the outer weather but on the sun you have kindled within those who seek you. Heavenly Father, today I want to contemplate your unfathomable greatness, following in the footsteps of those who knew you in living history. By looking at them, I want to learn to live this day as they learned to live theirs, because one generation declares your wonders to another. I want their stories to be lighthouses in my journey, mirrors where your goodness is reflected, windows through which your kingdom shines with light and hope. As I walk through these lives, I ask for an attentive heart to recognize on every page that the Lord is good to all, that he upholds those who fall and lifts up those who are bowed down, that he is near to all who call on him with sincerity. I think of Peter, the fisherman with rough hands, who knew both the joy of abundant catches and the weight of his own weakness. On a morning by the lake, when the night's work seemed useless, you stepped into his boat and told him to cast the nets again. Against logic he obeyed, against weariness he trusted, and he saw the nets overflow. Today, with my own day just opened, I want to learn from Peter to give you space in my boat and to cast again the nets of hope. If yesterday's effort bore no fruit, if my calculations say no, your word says, try again with me. And when Peter later denied you in fear, you did not erase him. You looked at him with mercy, you sought him on the shore with bread and healing questions, and you lifted him up to shepherd. That is how you are, Lord. You open your hand and satisfy. You uphold the fallen and lift the broken. May I find in my own denials your reconciling gaze, and may my love, though imperfect, be made available for your mission. I look at Daniel, the faithful servant in a foreign land, a man of prayer who opened his windows toward your presence 3 times a day. Out of envy they tried to silence him. They threw him into the lion's den, but you closed the jaws of fear. Daniel teaches us that your kingdom does not depend on the moods of rulers, that your reign surpasses decrees that pass away, that you are king of all ages and all generations. Today I want to take Daniel's discipline as my compass, to open the window of my heart to you before every decision, to open my mouth in praise before every apparent defeat, to open my faith to see your salvation. If the day presents pits of uncertainty, I will remember that you are near to those who call on you sincerely, that you hear the cry and you save. I walk into the life of Joseph, son of Jacob, sold as a slave by his brothers, imprisoned by injustice, forgotten by those who promised to remember him. Yet guided by your hand to a place of service, he saved multitudes from famine. Joseph guarded his heart when bitterness knocked at the door. He knew that you give food at the right time, and that even what others mean for harm you can turn to good. I want to learn from Joseph to manage wisely what you entrust to me, to work with excellence wherever you plant me, to guard integrity when no one is watching, to forgive without keeping count. And if today I must interpret dreams, that is, discern the quiet signs of your will, may your Spirit grant me clarity and patience, so that when promotion or recognition comes, I may remember that all glory and all splendor belong to your kingdom, and that I was placed there to serve. I pause with Hannah, a woman who wept many tears for the child she longed for but could not have, mocked by those who did not understand her pain. Yet you, Lord, who are near to those who call on you sincerely, heard her cry. She promised to give back to you what she most desired, and she fulfilled it. Her story teaches me that prayer is not a bargain but an act of radical trust. I place in your hands what I love, and you transform it into blessing for many. If today I carry a long-awaited desire, I present it without ultimatum, with the serenity of one who knows that your faithfulness does not expire. If you grant it, I will praise you. If you ask me to wait, I will praise you still, for in both cases your love is shaping me. I see Esther, a young woman called to risk and courage in dark times. She listened to her uncle's words. Who knows if you have come to this position for such a time as this? She embraced fasting, asked for prayer, stood before the king without guarantees, and you inclined his heart toward her. In her I see that your justice and mercy can work even in difficult structures without losing the heart. If today you ask me to step forward, to speak for those without a voice, to build bridges where others raise walls, may I remember Esther and take the initiative with humble courage. Your kingdom does not advance with shouts but with faithfulness and prudence, with the gentle firmness of those who have learned in prayer to discern the right time. I am also inspired by Nehemiah, the man who heard the cry of his people and, moved by compassion, asked for permission and resources to rebuild among ruins. He organized the people, prayed, worked, kept watch, resisted mockery and threats, and soon the walls stood again. With Nehemiah, I understand that praise does not oppose work, but includes using the hammer and the plumb line, making agreements, dividing tasks, correcting abuses, and caring for the most fragile. Today, Lord, if there are fallen walls in my life, in my family, or in my community, I want to offer you my hands and my mind. Give me order, constancy, and an attentive heart, so that rebuilding may be a sign of your kingdom that restores, not of my pride that displays. I look at Ruth and Naomi, stories intertwined by loyalty and providence. Ruth, a foreigner, chose to care for her mother-in-law and to work with humility in fields not her own. There among the sheaves and long days, you were weaving a story that would become blessing for generations. Ruth teaches me that your love is revealed in daily fidelity, in the small gesture that sustains another, in the quiet perseverance that opens paths. If today my calling is not spectacular, if my field is filled with simple tasks, I want to embrace it with joy. knowing that the Lord is loving in all his works and that no act of love ever falls to the ground. I think of David, singer and king, who knew you in the solitude of the desert and in the responsibility of the throne. From shepherd of sheep to singer of psalms, he learned that true greatness is dependence on you. He fell as well and suffered the consequences, but when broken within, he did not hide behind power. He returned to you with a contrite heart. David leaves us both song and repentance, dance and discipline, the courage to face giants, and the humility to ask for forgiveness. In him I see that your justice does not contradict your mercy, but purifies it, and in his voice I hear my own. May my mouth proclaim the praise of the Lord, not out of personal perfection, but in recognition of the King who forgives and restores. I glance into the house of Zechariah and Elizabeth, righteous elders who waited long and doubted too, and whom you visited with new joy. I behold Mary, the humble of heart, who said, "Let it be done," and opened the door to the Savior. In them, the promise became its appointed time. The waiting became a cradle. The silence became a song. Today, Lord, if my life moves through slow seasons, if deadlines stretch long, if my strength feels small, let me remember that your calendar never fails, that you give food in its time, that you open your hand and satisfy every living thing with goodness. Give me Mary's yes, free of calculation. Give me Joseph's availability, just and silent. Give me Elizabeth's perseverance, blessing without resentment. I walk beside the disciples of Emmaus who were sad until you, risen Lord, became their discreet companion, explaining the scriptures and breaking the bread. Their eyes were opened in that simple gesture, and when they recognized you, their hearts burned within them. They teach me that so often you reveal yourself humbly, that your closeness is discovered in listening to your word and in sharing the ordinary. If today I walk under dark clouds, teach me to welcome you with hospitality of spirit, to let your voice ignite my faith, to run back with good news to those who need encouragement. For the kingdom is not abstract theory, it is your presence walking by our side, turning weariness into mission. And I return to the psalmist, who once again sings the essence of your heart. Gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. In this gallery of witnesses, the same melody repeats itself. Peter forgiven and sent, Daniel delivered and established, Joseph tested and promoted, Hannah heard and made fruitful, Esther guided and courageous, Nehemiah prayerful and hardworking, Ruth faithful and blessed, David broken and restored, the disciples of Emmaus discouraged and rekindled. Each one in their own way proclaims that you are righteous in all your ways and loving in all your works, that your kingdom is full of glory and splendor, that your reign has no end. And even when delays, silences, or nights appear, still your faithfulness resounds, sustaining the pulse of hope. Therefore, Lord, looking at these examples, I stand in this day with new courage. If I face a task greater than me, I will remember Peter and his overflowing nets. If unjust pressure surrounds me, I will think of Daniel and his open window. If I must carry decisions that affect others, I will recall Joseph and his wise stewardship for the common good. If my heart cries out with a deep desire, I will go with Hannah and pour out my soul. If I must speak with prudence in complex settings, I will learn from Esther to prepare my voice with fasting and prayer. If reality shows me ruins to rebuild, I will take from Nehemiah the mixture of prayer and labor, vigilance and cooperation. If my path unfolds in simple labors, I will look to Ruth and turn each ear of grain into an offering. If I stumble and need to return, I will go with David to the place where your mercy embraces and your justice restores. If I feel discouraged and without horizon, I will sit at the Emmaus table to let your word kindle my heart and your bread return me to mission. And so, Lord, with these faces in my memory and your voice as compass, I dare to believe that you will complete the work you have begun. Let my mouth speak your praise, not out of habit but conviction. Let my hands work, not from fear but from love. Let my decisions reflect, not my convenience but your truth. Today I proclaim with David and with the ages that great are you, Lord, and most worthy of praise, that your greatness is unsearchable, that your kingdom is everlasting, that your dominion endures through all generations. Resting in this certainty, I take another step along the path you offer, knowing that every story that says yes to you becomes a channel of your goodness for many. As I contemplate your greatness proclaimed in the psalm, I draw near to your heart with all that I am and all that I carry. You know my roads and my crosses, and today I ask for clear guidance in the decisions that await me. You who give food in due season, give me wisdom also in due season. May I not run ahead out of anxiety, nor lag behind out of fear. If several doors stand before me, show me the one through which your peace expands. If I must wait, teach me to do so with active hope, keeping my hands busy in good works and my heart alive in praise. Let me seek wise counsel, think with prudence, listen with humility, and move with serenity, knowing that your reign embraces every generation and that no detail of this day escapes your loving gaze. I present before you, Lord, my work and my responsibilities. I know the weight of effort and the tensions of the day, but I also know that you uphold those who fall and lift up those who are bowed down. I ask for creativity to solve problems, diligence to complete what is pending, order to prioritize what is important, and integrity to honor you in every deal and every signature. If I face goals that look like mountains, give me perseverance without hardness. If I must collaborate, let my heart be a bridge and not a wall. If I must lead, let it be with service. If I must obey, let it be with nobility. Open your hand over my work, so that it may not only reach its goals, but also become blessing for others. Testimony that the Lord is loving in all his works. Into your hands I also place my finances, Lord. You know my needs and those of my household. Teach me to live with simplicity and gratitude, to distinguish between what is necessary and what is superfluous, to save wisely and to share generously. If there are debts, give me clarity to face them with order and truth, seeking fair agreements and fulfilling them with responsibility. If there are projects to begin, show me the timing and the steps, the right people and the healthy limits. Guard my heart from greed and from fear of scarcity, reminding me that you open your hand and satisfy every living thing with favor. I want to work with excellence, to manage with faithfulness, and to bless with an open heart, knowing that every resource is a gift, and every gift is a call to serve. I place before you my relationships, Lord, my family, my friends, my companions. Look at our lights and our shadows. Look at the misunderstandings that wound us, the words that were excessive or missing, the silences that weighed heavy. I ask for patience to listen, sensitivity to ask for forgiveness, humility to forgive, courage to set healthy boundaries, and tenderness to care for the most fragile. Let peace dwell in my home, born of your presence. May our conversations hold truth and charity. May our decisions seek the common good. Protect those I love when they go out and when they return. Guard their paths, strengthen their health, renew their spirits, and encourage their faith. Let your blessing rest upon the shared table, upon our laughter and our tears, upon our plans and our surprises. I look, Lord, at my wounds and my weariness. You are gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and rich in love. I ask you for healing in the depths. Heal memories that still wound. Heal thoughts that become entangled. Guilt that I have already laid before you, but which returns to knock at my door. Teach me to care for my body with gentle discipline, to respect my limits without laziness, and to stretch my capacities without pride. Let your Spirit teach me to rest in you, to breathe your peace, to turn my tense moments into brief prayers that bring my heart back to its center. If sadness clouds my sight, grant me the light of your consolation and, if needed, the right companionship to walk through it wisely. Uphold my spirit as you upheld so many who called on you sincerely and found in you refuge and strength. Father, you are the potter, and I am clay in your hands. You love to shape without breaking, to polish without wounding, to heat without burning. Today I surrender to your workshop. If hardness keeps me from taking the form you dream of, soften me with your mercy. If cracks let joy escape, seal them with your faithfulness. If pride has swollen my shape, refine it with your truth. I want to spin on your wheel with docility, accepting your times of kneading and resting, of fire and of shine. I do not seek to be a striking figure, but to be useful in your hands, a vessel to carry fresh water, a plate to share bread, a lamp to hold your light. May your work in me not be stalled by my resistance, but advance through my willingness. Protect, Lord, my mind and my heart in the daily battle. Take my thoughts when they try to wander into the shortcut of resentment, of judgment, of comparison that steals peace. Give me filters of truth to discern what I hear and see, so that my inner being is not polluted by empty words or images that chill the spirit. Place watch over my lips, that my mouth may proclaim the Lord's praise and not the poison of murmuring. Put a guardian at my inner door, letting in what builds and sending out what harms. I want to be custodian of hope, gardener of joy, artisan of peace, knowing that you are righteous in all your ways and loving in all your works. Lord, I also ask you for the decisions that affect my loved ones, studies, job changes, choices of direction, difficult conversations. Give us unity to seek you together, courage to speak with clarity, humility to correct when we are wrong. If we must close cycles, let it be without resentment. If we must open horizons, let it be without recklessness. Grant us the grace to celebrate achievements without pride and to learn from failures without discouragement. And when conflict arises, remind us that you are near to all who call on you sincerely, and that your peace can guard our hearts even in tension. I entrust to your care those around me who face scarcity, illness, loneliness, or fear. You hear the cry and you save. You guard those who love you. Give relief to the one who suffers in body, wisdom to the professionals who care for them, comfort to the families who accompany them. Provide dignified work for the seeker, clean opportunities for those who desire to grow, a friendly hand to the one who feels on the edge. Let me be an instrument, arriving on time with a call, a message, a concrete gesture, a silent support. May I be an extension of your open hand, a sign of your care for all your creatures. Lord, I present to you my own heart as a disciple. I want to learn the art of living in your presence, combining praise with effort, contemplation with action, silence with timely word. In this morning prayer with the Psalm, I renew my purpose to bless you day after day and to proclaim your power with my whole life. May my faith not be a fleeting emotion, but a decision that orders my hours. May my gratitude not be a beautiful speech, but a lifestyle of simplicity and generosity. May my love not remain a feeling, but become service. If today you give me joy, I will sing. If you give me a cross, I will follow. If you call me aside to listen, I will stop. Above all, give me grace to remember that your kingdom is everlasting, that your reign does not fade, and that your boundless goodness goes before me and sustains me. With this trust, I leave my requests in your heart, knowing you will answer in your time with wisdom and tenderness. Meanwhile, I will walk with head held high and heart bowed low, working with hope, serving with joy, persevering with gentleness. For you are the Lord, righteous and near, strong and compassionate in you. I always find the guidance, the protection, and the transformation I need. Lord God and King, today I come to your throne not only with my own needs, but with the names and faces of those I carry in my heart. The psalm proclaims that you are good to all and compassionate to all your creatures. And so I become intercessor, bridge of mercy, voice raised for those who may have no strength to pray. You who uphold those who fall and lift up those who are bowed down, incline your compassionate ear. Send your comfort where it is needed, your light where there is confusion, your peace where there is tension. Let this prayer widen until it embraces the community and the nations. For your kingdom is everlasting, and your reign endures through all generations. I present to you, Lord, those who awaken today with an illness that wears down the body or clouds the spirit. Look upon those waiting for results, those beginning treatments, those carrying silent pains few understand. You who open your hand and satisfy the needs of every living thing, open your hand of healing over them. Bless the professionals who attend them with wisdom and humanity, with right judgment in decisions, with steady hands and tender hearts. Strengthen the families who care for them, sustain their nights, renew their hope, multiply their patience. And if any feel alone in a hospital hallway or behind closed walls, let them experience your nearness, your word that consoles, your presence that does not abandon. I intercede also for those facing scarcity and unemployment. You see the anguish of the one who seeks and does not find, the worry of the one unsure if today's bread will be enough. You, Lord, who give food in due season, open clean opportunities, dignified work, doors that lead to stability and growth. Protect those who begin with honesty, accompany those who prepare, inspire those who hire to seek the common good. Let solidarity networks flourish in our communities, initiatives of support, hands that share, ears that listen, hearts that do not judge but help. Teach me to manage with justice, to avoid abuse, to pay fairly, to value the labor of others, for you are righteous in all your ways and loving in all your works. I bring before you, Lord, those who live at the margins, people on the streets, migrants who have left their homeland in search of bread and peace, vulnerable children and elderly, women and men wounded by violence or by indifference. Your word says you are near to all who call on you sincerely. I ask that all may draw near to you, even if they do not know how to call your name, and that in your people they may find a welcoming face. May our communities become long tables where no one is left out, where everyone finds dignity and opportunity. Break the hardness of our hearts when we pass by in indifference. Soften our gaze to see you in the face of the one who suffers. And if there are structures that sustain injustice, move us to work with patient effectiveness and humble constancy to transform them from within. I pray for those who govern, for those who make public decisions, for those who administer justice, and for those who serve in areas of security, health, education, and development. You who reign with glory and splendor, enlighten their consciences, correct their intentions, strengthen their will to serve and not to serve themselves. Free them from corruption, from fear that paralyzes, from pride that blinds. Surround each leader with capable and honest collaborators. Awaken in them compassion for the poor, passion for the common good, and courage to take paths of reconciliation. Grant us just laws, strong institutions, and transparent processes, so that peace may be the fruit of justice and truth. May your wisdom inspire agreements, and may your patience sustain the processes that take time. I present to you families, Lord, little domestic churches where we learn to love and to forgive. Look upon homes marked by tensions, shortages, or violence. Pour out your spirit to heal old wounds, to break chains of resentment, to rebuild bridges of dialogue. Uphold marriages under trial. Encourage those who educate with effort. Accompany those who raise children in solitude. Surround children and the elderly with tenderness. Light in our homes the lamp of your word that orders the mind and the fire of your charity that warms the heart. Make us creative in accompanying, patient in correcting, grateful in blessing. May our tables be places of listening and gratitude, and our doors gateways of hospitality. I also remember the servants of faith, ordained ministers, and lay leaders who proclaim your name, visit the sick, accompany the grieving, and sustain hope in neighborhoods, villages, and cities. Strengthen their spirits when weariness touches them. Renew their joy when fatigue clouds them. Defend them when slander strikes. Grant us praying communities that do not lock themselves in but go out to seek those who feel far away. Communities that proclaim with clarity and serve with humility, that celebrate with beauty and live with coherence. May the praise of the psalm be our common language, and may our mission proclaim with word and deed that you are near and you hear the cry. I intercede for young people who step into life with big questions and hidden fears. Give them clear horizons, healthy friendships, opportunities to unfold their gifts. Free them from lies that promise shortcuts without truth, from hopelessness that paralyzes, from masks that exhaust. Give them wise mentors and luminous examples. Let the community become a workshop of growth where they can make mistakes without being crushed and succeed without being idolized. Teach them to proclaim your praise through their creativity, their study, their work, their sport, their art, placing their talents in service of the good. I do not forget the elderly, Lord, living memory of so many stories. Give meaning to their days, companionship to their evenings, respect for their gray hairs, health to their bodies, peace to their spirits. May no one in our communities grow old in loneliness. Let us know how to receive their counsel, honor their journey, and offer them care and attentive listening. In their serene wisdom, show me the rhythm of your unfailing faithfulness. I bring to your heart those who suffer from violence, insecurity, or injustice. Guard those who go out today to work or to study. Protect the children on their way. Grant prudence to those who keep watch over order, and courage to those who denounce what is wrong. May peace not be only the absence of conflict, but the fruit of just relationships and real opportunities of mutual respect. Inspire initiatives of dialogue, programs that restore, actions that prevent. And if resentment has taken root in a neighborhood or in a heart, water it with your mercy so that forgiveness may sprout one that frees without denying the truth. I pray for creation, Lord, the work of your hands that groans when we treat it as an object. Teach me to care for water and land, for air and soil to consume with sobriety, to produce without destroying, to leave an inheritance of life to those who will come. May our personal and community decisions reflect the responsibility of stewards, not of owners. You who are loving in all your works, help us to do likewise with our common home. Look also upon those who face inner nights, depression, anxiety, persistent guilt, fresh grief. You are near to all who call on you sincerely. Bring your consolation close, like a lamp in the window. Send the right companions, timely treatments, words that neither minimize nor exaggerate. And if today someone believes there will be no tomorrow, let them feel that you guard those who love you and that you still hold for their life a story of hope. Father, I lay before you our whole community, its leaders, its servants, its projects, its fragilities, and its dreams. Give us a united heart, coordinated hands, attentive eyes, and willing feet to go out and meet others. Make us a community that blesses and does not murmur, that works and does not grow complacent, that celebrates and does not get distracted, that learns and does not close itself in. May we speak of the glory of your kingdom with the conviction of those who have seen your power in the everyday. May we proclaim your deeds with the humility of those who know that every true victory comes from you. If we fall, lift us. If we bend, straighten us. If we are divided, gather us. If we grow weary, restore us. And may these words rise from our lips as from the psalmists. Let my mouth speak the praise of the Lord, and let every living thing bless his holy name forever and ever. Lord, today I come into your presence with the simple and profound desire to grow. I want this day to be ground for formation, an open classroom where your word instructs me and your spirit shapes me. Psalm 145 reminds me that you are righteous in all your ways and loving in all your works. If I allow myself to be shaped, I do not only advance in skills, but I become more and more the work you dream of. I long for a transformation that does not remain a fleeting morning emotion, but that becomes midday decisions and evening faithfulness. Teach me the art of examining my life with hope, not with guilt but with truth, not with harshness but with patience, not with permissiveness. I want to cooperate with grace, that silent strength that makes all things new when the heart opens to your will. Your word invites me not to conform to what passes, but to renew my mind to discern what pleases you. So I ask you for a clearer mind able to distinguish between what is urgent and shouts, and what is important and whispers, between the glitter that distracts and the light that guides, between fleeting prestige and fruit that lasts. Give me, Lord, an inner discipline to guard my comings and goings, what I see, what I hear, what I say, what I keep silent, what I treasure in memory. Let the doorway of my inner life be faithfully guarded by your truth so that lies may not lodge there and confusion may not become my compass. Teach me to meditate on your works, to recall your interventions in my story, to turn memory into a springboard for obedience. If one generation tells the next of your wonders, let my own heart be the first generation that tells my will who you are and what you have done for me. The transformation I ask of you, Lord, has the taste of character. Make me firm without hardness, kind without weakness, simple without naivety, brave without aggression. Shape in me the humility that recognizes both gifts and limits, and so can build with others without competing. Humility is not thinking less of myself, but thinking more of you and of others. It is knowing that all good comes from you and returns to you in praise. Let my identity not depend on applause, nor collapse under criticism, but rest in your gaze, the gaze that calls me by name and sends me. If I fail, let me learn. If I succeed, let me give thanks. If I pause, let me listen. If I run, let it be in the right direction. Let perseverance be my ordinary way of loving, constancy in the small, firmness in what is just, hope in what is hard. I long, Lord, for today to be a workshop of virtues. Teach me gentleness that listens, self-control that orders, patience that sustains, temperance that balances. Give me wisdom that knows how to wait for the right time, and strength that knows how to advance when that time comes. Let my sense of justice make me keep promises, defend the weak, honor agreements, speak the truth, even when silence would serve me better. Let charity be the climate of every virtue, like the air that surrounds and gives life. If you give me authority, let it be seen in how I serve. If you place me under authority, let it be seen in how I build from my place. Train my habits as an athlete of the Spirit who understands that small daily steps shape whole journeys. Lord, I also want to grow in the stewardship of my talents. You, who open your hand and satisfy the needs of every living thing, have entrusted me with gifts not to hoard, but to use for the good of others. Show me where to invest my time so it bears fruit. With whom should I join to multiply results? How can I measure progress without falling into toxic comparisons? Give me creativity to solve, curiosity to learn, humility to ask, constancy to practice, courage to adjust my course. And when fatigue comes, teach me to rest with you without abandoning the purpose. When discouragement appears, remind me of the reasons I began. When difficulties grow, show me the next firm stone on the path. Lord, I want to educate my affections under your gaze. Teach me to love as you do, with tenderness that does not manipulate, with truth that does not wound, with freedom that does not abandon. Purify my intentions, heal my old wounds, order my desires so that they do not rule me. If my emotions rise like waves, give me the anchor of your presence. If my spirit sinks like a clouded evening, light within me the lamp of your consolation. Let me learn to speak from peace and not from reaction, to ask from need and not from whim, to renounce from conviction and not from imposition. May my relationships be a school of daily holiness, family, friends, companions, each one an occasion to practice understanding, listening, forgiveness, and shared joy in the field of faith. Lord, I long for a maturity that is visible, that prayer is not only asking, but also adoring and thanking, that reading your word is not a ritual, but a dialogue, that participating in community life is not a duty, but a living belonging that corrects me and pushes me forward. Give us hunger for the sacred, thirst for your truth, taste for the good, sensitivity for those who suffer. May times of silence not frighten me, but deepen me. May desert times not dry me, but purify me. May harvest times not overwhelm me, but make me more generous. And if any darkness tries to confuse my trust, remind me that you are near to all who call on you sincerely, that you hear the cry and save, that you guard those who love you. I also want to grow in the way I face trials. When hours of conflict come, give me inner calm to think, truth to speak, charity to act. If I am slandered, give me silent dignity. If I am corrected, give me grateful docility. If I am provoked, give me serene boundaries. Let me not define myself by the stumble or the medal, but by your voice that tells me who I am. If I fall, let me rise quickly. If I doubt, let me ask with honesty. If I get lost, let me seek wise counsel. Trials lived with you cease to be threats and become opportunities. Opportunities to purify intentions, to grow in patience, to bear witness to a hope that does not disappoint. Teach my will, Lord, to obey you promptly. Capricious delay often disguises fear. Euphoric haste often disguises vanity. Give me the rhythm of your wisdom. When you say advance, let me not bargain. When you say wait, let me not despair. When you say no, let me embrace it as protection. When you remain silent, let me choose to keep praising, sustaining the ordinary obedience that does not shine but builds. For your kingdom has glory and splendor, yet it is often expressed in hidden roots, in leaven unseen, in the small seed that waits for its time. I also want to cultivate gratitude as a muscle that sustains transformation. Gratitude saves me from complaint, frees me from comparison, vaccinates me against pride. Thank you for what has been achieved and for what is pending, for what succeeded at the first attempt and for what had to be tried again, for what I understood and for what I still do not grasp. Thank you for those who help me improve, who correct me with respect, who demand with justice, who encourage with truth. Thank you for limits that remind me I am not God, and for possibilities that remind me I am loved by God. In the school of gratitude, the heart grows lighter and the will more available. Lord, I long that this whole personal process may be service for others. I do not want to grow to look at myself, but to give of myself. May my maturity be seen in how I treat those who think differently, in how I accompany those who suffer, in how I celebrate the good of others, in how I share what I have received. If you grant me influence, let it be to open paths. If you grant me resources, let them sustain just causes. If you grant me words, let them lift up others. And when my name is left on no plaque, may my peace rest in knowing that yours has been written in some heart by a small and faithful gesture. For all this, in this morning prayer with the psalm, a powerful prayer of praise and gratitude to God, I renew my decision to let myself be transformed. May my mouth proclaim your praise, and may my life confirm it. May my mind be renewed by your truth, my heart expanded by your charity, my hands work with your justice. And in the flow of hours, when fatigue visits me or temptation circles me, I will remember that you uphold those who fall and lift up those who are bowed down. With that certainty, I take another step forward. Today I want to grow with you, Lord, to serve better, to love more, and to reflect, even in part, the unfathomable greatness of your goodness. As I come to the close of this prayer, my heart returns to its source. You are great and highly worthy of praise, and your greatness is unsearchable. From the first ray of light to this very moment as I lift my prayer, I have seen your open hand that satisfies every living being. I have felt your nearness that comforts and strengthens, and I have remembered your works that one generation tells to another. Today I thank you for what you have done, for what you are doing, and for what you will do, because you reign with glory and splendor, and your kingdom is everlasting. Your rule endures through all generations. Before you, Lord, I place this day as a simple offering, like bread and fish that in your hands feed more than I could imagine. I place before you my tasks and my pauses, my encounters and my solitudes, my certainties and my questions. May each step be a response to your goodness, each decision an echo of your justice, each gesture a mark of your love. Make of my routine a simple sanctuary where your presence is recognized, and of my responsibilities a service that honors your name. If today I find joys, I will celebrate them with you. If trials appear, I will walk through them hand in hand with you. If I am recognized, I will give you the glory. If I am forgotten, I will rest in your gaze. If I must move forward, your word will accompany me. If I must wait, your faithfulness will sustain me. I want to live with the clear awareness that you are just in all your ways and loving in all your works, and that there is no valley or summit where your grace cannot reach me. Guard my mind from confusion, my heart from resentment, my hands from violence, my lips from murmuring. Clothe me with gentleness and strength, prudence and courage, patience and joy. Today, Lord, I renew the commitment to proclaim your wonders, that in my home and in my community there may never be a lack of memory of your works. May we tell those who come after us that you hear the cry and save, that you uphold those who fall and lift up those who are bowed down, that you are near to all who call on you in sincerity. Give me the grace to sow words that build, to offer gestures that bring relief, to build bridges where there were walls. And when my strength is small, remind me that your power is made perfect in weakness, and that one humble yes is enough for your kingdom to find its way. Bless, Lord, the work of my hands, that it may be honest, fruitful, and useful. Bless my relationships, that they may breathe respect, truth, and charity. Bless my decisions, that they may be born of prayer and seek the good. Bless my resources, that they may not enslave me, but become service. Bless my thoughts, that they may be illumined by your word. Bless my affections, that they may love without manipulation and embrace without suffocating. Bless my projects, that they may submit to your wisdom. Bless my rest, that it may restore me to the path with serenity and new strength. And bless, Lord, my limits, for in them I learn to depend on you. I bring before your presence those around me. May your peace fall like dew upon weary homes. May your consolation embrace those who weep. May your light guide the undecided. May your providence open doors for honest seekers. May your mercy reconcile those who have wounded one another. May your joy renew the downcast. Visit the sick with relief, the caregivers with strength, the workers with justice, the students with clarity, the servants with humility. Grant wisdom and integrity to those who govern, that justice and peace may meet in our streets and hope may have room to grow. Lord, I take as my own the psalmist's final cry. May my mouth proclaim the praise of the Lord, and may every living being bless his holy name forever and ever. Let this not be a closing line, but a commission, not an ending, but a beginning. I want to step into this day with a worshipful heart and willing hands, with a faith that thinks and a charity that acts, with a hope that endures and inspires. And if at any moment darkness tries to settle in, I will proclaim your praise as a lamp, remember your word as an anchor, invoke your name as a refuge. Now, Lord, I ask you to pour out a blessing broad as your hand, deep as your mercy upon all who share this prayer. May the peace of the Lord guard their hearts and minds. May the wisdom of the Most High guide their decisions. May the strength of the Spirit renew their steps. May the kindness of the Father cover their homes. May the joy of the gospel lighten their burdens. May hope anchor their days in the safe harbor of your promises. From morning until evening, may their whole life be a living doxology, a silent hymn declaring, "Great is the Lord, and most worthy of praise." With this confidence, I close my prayer and open my day. I consecrate myself to your will, entrust myself to your providence, and rest in your love. From here I send a blessing to every listener. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and grant you his favor. May he turn his gaze toward you and give you peace. Go forth and walk in faith. Speak with truth. Serve with joy. Live in gratitude. And remember, with every breath, that the Lord is near to all who call on him sincerely. In the powerful name of Jesus, amen. If this prayer has touched your heart, I invite you to support this message of faith. Write Amen in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you won't miss new prayers and reflections. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement today. Your gesture may be the bridge for another to experience the Lord's nearness. Leave your intentions and testimonies in the comments. We will pray for you and give glory to God for every work of his. Thank you for sharing this time of prayer. May the Lord bless your day with strength, encouragement, and wisdom. May his open hand sustain you and his nearness console you. Walk in gratitude, serve with joy, and wait in his unfailing faithfulness. If this prayer has blessed your life, click on the recommended video on your screen and go deeper into the Word with new prayers and reflections. Allow the Lord to illuminate every area of your life with his truth and love. May God bless you abundantly.